So, if the question asked you about how an individual can contribute to the good of society, this is generally how you would write it out. Okay, so I have the notes open here, so you know where I am referring to. So basically, what is an individual? First, you have to answer the question directly. So an individual can contribute to the good of society. So yes, here you are answering the question directly. Okay, then you write an individual plays an important role in contributing to the needs of society through volunteering their time, money, and effort towards meaningful social causes that they are concerned about. And this, in a nutshell, is your definition. So you make it clear to the marker of what an individual's role in contributing is, which is this. Okay, and why would they contribute? So this is the why they would contribute. Then you move on to your example, which I have given is a little at a time. Okay, and this is all in your notes. An awareness of a little a day. Okay, let's use another color for this. This shall be gray. So this is your example. And finally, you give your explanation. You have to link it back to this. Okay, make sure that you link whatever example you have back to the good of society. Okay, so what do I mean by good? It means that society benefits as a whole. So how you explain this benefit? You can say that by doing so, this creates an awareness of how it is important to keep Singapore clean and green. Okay, so I'm following the notes here in the last part. So people will be aware of avenues that they can volunteer. Yes, aware of avenues which they can volunteer. And the more important thing is how it will benefit society. Okay, over here. So you say complement the government. Yes, it will complement the government's role. And based on your example, which is a little at a time, is about keeping Singapore clean. So it's complementing the government's role in keeping Singapore clean. Okay, by doing so, how does it help the volunteer? The volunteer will have a sense of ownership and commitment to the nation. And on the whole, all these will help contribute to the good of society, as the final outcome is, so basically can summarize all that you have said. Singapore would be a cleaner city where people take ownership of the nation. Okay? So this in a nutshell is how a paragraph would look like if this were to come out. Okay, another way that they can ask you is this. So explain how organized groups can contribute to the good of society. So here you just do the same thing again. So first you answer the question. Organized groups can help contribute to the good of society. Okay, next you give the definition. What exactly do I mean by organized groups? Basically, it is groups with common interests who organize themselves into groups, blah, blah, blah. So let's just put it down. Okay, citizens with common interests organize themselves into groups, blah, blah. So then you have given the definition. Okay, but this is not enough. Next part is the example. So an example of this is, and you give the one that is the most obvious and highly recommended, which is mines. Is mines. Okay, you have to write the full term. So what do they do? You give the definition of mines. So this is an organization that, right, just follow the notes, cater to the needs of the intellectually disabled in Singapore. So as such, all these things. So they provide job skills and training programs. So they provide job skills and training programs. An example is this Minds Food. So you can just basically copy this. And one avenue this is seen is through Minds Food, a cafe which hires the intellectually disabled and trains them in areas of serving customers and working in the kitchen. So I think that should be enough. Then you move on to the explanation. So you have given a clear example here. Then now you just need to give me your explanation, which is at the bottom of the notes. So since the question asks about good of society, these are all the things you can pick from. Benefit of the volunteer, the beneficiaries, and society as a whole. Okay, so relative to your example, you can say that this benefits society is, oh no, okay, let's rephrase that. This contributes to the good of society as, okay, by people volunteering, there is an awareness. There is an awareness of the need. Okay, who is this particular group? To help meet the needs of the intellectually disabled. Okay, this is one area where it helps society because you're meeting the needs of the intellectually. Next, right, by volunteering, people also have a sense of ownership and commitment. So by volunteering, people have a sense of ownership and commitment to society. Okay? So as a whole, how will it benefit the beneficiary? Right, this ensures that the needs of, so relative to your example, which is minds, then right, the needs of the intellectually disabled are taken care of, and hence, right, Singapore will be a more, how does it benefit society as a whole, inclusive society where we are caring and compassionate towards each other. Okay, again, this also helps to complement the government's role in meeting the needs of these groups of people. Okay, so you have written down everything here in your nice little example. All you need to do now is the link. So as such, this helps. This is how organized groups help to meet needs of society. Okay, so this is video number 1, which is how do you write an essay when they ask you about the good of society. So basically, you must remember to look at what is the factor they are asking and also what is the issue that they are asking. So if the question asks like this, okay, then you have to give one paragraph for informal and one paragraph for formal groups. Okay, so basically this paragraph is about organized groups as a whole. But if they ask you like this, you need 2 factors. So one factor would be for informal groups, one factor will be for formal groups. In that case, okay, this part and the bottom explanation part is the same. The only difference would be the definition. Okay, so you write organized groups can help contribute to the good of society. This includes formal and informal organized groups. Okay, the next part you will write the definition for informal groups, which is in your notes. So for formal groups, so we start with informal. Okay, one way for informal groups, right, these are groups that have specific short-term objectives, okay, where efforts will help improve a specific situation, blah blah blah, that they can help the government. Okay, so in this case, this becomes your definition. So one example of this is, then since Minds is a formal group, you need to just choose something else. So yes, probably SG Hayes Rescue is SG Hayes Rescue. Okay, then give the definition. This is an informal group created by Mr. Jeremy Chua, and the objective is to help manage the ill effects haze. Okay, then what did he do? So what did he do? So he created a Facebook group, and then you just write everything here, okay, into your essay. After you have written this, then you just need to link it up with your explanation, okay, which is it helps create a more caring and compassionate society because they can in effect deal with the effects of the haze. Okay, so this benefits society as, so using the notes here, right? So what needs are actually taken care of? The needs of the disadvantaged taken care of as those who could not afford masks are able to have medical supplies given to them. Okay, as such, how does it help society as a whole? Society become more caring and compassionate. And this, okay, this is the key thing, complementing the government. Complements the government's role in tackling the haze. So you have to link it back to your specific group, which is SG Haze Rescue, effectively. Okay, in turn, this contributes in the good of society. Okay, so in a nutshell, if they ask you this question, one paragraph will be for your informal groups. So first you write informal groups and what their definition is over here. Next you give example is SG Haze Rescue. Then what do they do? Next you write how does it benefit society, or how does it help to create the good of society. So basically you just write the disadvantage. All those who cannot afford masks are taken care of, as now they can have medical supplies given to them. And so society as a whole become more caring and compassionate because you are not only looking out for yourself, but you're looking out for others as well. And thirdly, this will also help complement the government's role in tackling the haze effectively. So in turn, everybody benefits, and so